Hey guys, it's Jessica with Eagle Academy, and this video is part of the Texas Boys collab. It's 10 reasons why I homeschool and 5 tips on how. Alright? So 10 reasons why and 5 tips on how. I'm gonna give that list and then I'll go back and I'll touch on each one. So here's my list of 10 reasons why. Protecting, encouraging, living, guiding, personalizing, enjoying, knowing, exploring, playing, and loving. So, my number one reason is protecting. The main reason that we started homeschooling was that our oldest, Sister Bear, was getting bullied. And it got to the point where she was physically ill because she was worried about going to school. And she hated school, everything about it, just because of these bullies. So homeschooling was an option for me to get her out of that environment. Not only that, but homeschooling allows me to protect my kids from school violence, the bullies, the fights, the shootings. We live in an area not too far from Atlanta, and as much as I would love to say it's a quaint, quiet little town, it's not. And it feels like more and more every day there is just all kinds of stupid violence, senseless violence. And homeschooling lets me protect my kids from that. It also lets me protect them from information I don't want them exposed to. Issues like drug use, sexuality, politics, being a Christian family. I don't need my kindergartner knowing about sex. I don't need my 10-year-old knowing details on a transgendered person's sex change. Okay? Those are issues that we will deal with in a biblical view when we feel they are mature enough. We control the shows they watch and the music they listen to. Having them homeschooled allows us to protect them from those outside influences that we wouldn't want them around. Alright? Reason 2, encouraging. Like I just said, we are a Christian family. We are a very traditional Christian family. And so homeschooling allows us to encourage the kids biblically, raising them to be thoughtful and kind and considerate and serving, things like modesty with my daughter, not wearing makeup, dressing appropriately. Homeschooling allows us the opportunity to really encourage our kids to live the Christian lifestyle that we choose to live. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be possible in public school, but homeschooling definitely makes it easier. When you have an opportunity to not just attend church together, but to have daily devotionals, to work your religious beliefs into your homeschooling lessons, it's just very encouraging. It lets them know that you can still live a Christian life in this world that we're surrounded by. All right? I'm sorry, I have my list sitting next to me, and I'm looking down at my list to see what my next number is. Number 3 is living. My husband is our provider. He goes out and works full time, so he's not around as much as maybe some other folks are. But because he does that, I'm able to be at home with our kids all the time. From the minute they wake up, the meals they eat, the schoolwork that we do, the chores that they do, all of our life is done together. So my kids get to see me living my life, and I get to see them. I get to see the milestones. I get to watch them grow up. I sometimes wish that they wouldn't. So homeschooling lets us have that chance to live our lives together and not just have an hour a day to try to figure out what each other is doing. All right? Reason 4, guiding. Homeschooling for me is not just teaching them, it's not just teaching them facts, teaching them dates, or, sorry guys, I'm trying to get more comfortable. It's not just teaching them to regurgitate information. Homeschooling is guiding them to learn how to learn. All right? To find information and to figure out how to solve a problem. Those are the big things that I want them to take away from homeschooling. So guiding them to work things out, to solve problems, guiding them to make decisions and to deal with the consequences from their decisions. That's a big part of homeschooling for us. Number 5, personalization. I have a kid that cannot sit still in a chair for 2 minutes to save his life. Can't do it at all, ever. So homeschooling allows us to personalize his schooling experience. If he wants to stand and do his homework, he can. If he wants to lay on the floor and do his homework, he can. He loves Legos and building, and right now wants to be an engineer when he grows up. So I can personalize our lessons to focus on the things he enjoys. And we can make homeschooling a lot of fun. My girl, Sister Bear, she is a bookworm, just like her mama. So if she wants to learn about a certain author or learn about a certain genre of books, we can work that into our homeschooling it gives us a chance to personalize their academics for the year. And I think that's pretty cool. Going along with that, number 6, enjoying. School is fun if you're learning about stuff that you enjoy. If I tell my kid to do math with Legos, he's all for it because he loves Legos. If they're learning the concepts that I want them to learn and they're enjoying it, that's awesome. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the fun part of homeschooling, is getting to know what your kids enjoy and building your school around that. 7, knowing my kids. Homeschooling lets me get to know my kids in ways that I would not know them otherwise. I think all moms, you can get to that point where, no, that one doesn't eat ketchup. No, that one doesn't like gravy. No, that one doesn't eat cheese. We have those. But to know that my kid can write certain letters and not other ones. To know that little bear, who will be in kindergarten this year, can do first grade level math. Knowing what they're capable of, being able to challenge them, knowing what they enjoy, and working that into the system, working that into your homeschooling. That's awesome. Number 8, exploring. Field trips. I love me some field trips. Because I run our local homeschool group, I am responsible for planning a lot of the field trips. So we go on a lot of field trips. My kids love it. I love it. It counts as school. Yeah. Which brings me to number 9, playing. We look at the public school system and the kids sitting behind a desk and they get 20-30 minutes of recess. And that's the only playing that they do. Homeschooling, it's all playing. I mean, it can be all playing. It's up to you. There is so much more fun and freedom in homeschooling. So, playing is on my list. They can learn while they're playing. Happens a lot. And number 10 on my list is loving. I am a book nerd. I have a bachelor's degree. My goal before Little Bear was born was to teach in the public school system. So education is a passion of mine. Has been for a while. Nowadays, homeschooling, helping other families learn the guidelines, find their niche, learn about the different curriculums and the different methods and all the different options that are available. It's kind of become a mission of mine. So it's definitely a passion. It's something I love doing. And so then it doesn't seem like work. It's not hard. It's not a chore most of the time. So that is my list of 10 reasons why I homeschool. Now, my list of 5 ways that I make it run smoothly. All right? Organize, socialize, visualize, accessorize, and tranquilize. Obviously, if you guys think back on my list, you can see the book nerd in me coming out. I'm kind of a dork. I am a very organized person. I have spots in my house for things. I have planners that keep me organized, a place for everything and everything in its place. It helps me keep all of my ducks in the pond, at least. They're not always in a row, but they're always in the pond. So organization is a big thing for me to make homeschooling work. That S word, socialize. We are a part of the local homeschool co-op, and so we go twice a week and do things with other local homeschoolers, and it has saved us. We are not just sitting around by ourselves, staring each other in the face, fighting and fussing because it's, oh, I don't want to play with my brothers, or my sister won't play with me. So socializing is a big deal. Lots of different ways you can do it. Tip 3, visualize. My homeschool might not work for you. Think about your kids. Think about you. Think about your lifestyle and your space. And visualize what you want out of school. What your kids want out of school. What will work for you in the time and the space and the budget and the interests that you have. Visualize that, and it makes it a lot easier to happen instead of just stumbling along not knowing what you're doing. Accessorize. This one tends to get me in trouble because I'm like, oh, look, there are some new manipulatives that we don't have yet. So then I get this feeling of must buy all now. And I'm trying to be better about that. But in all honesty, a handful of well-chosen accessories, a well-chosen curriculum will make all the difference in your homeschool. Don't just buy something because someone else has it. Buy the things that fit you and your homeschool. Okay? And tip number 5, tranquilize. Take time to rest. Take a break. If you've been schooling for a couple of weeks, take a day off. Take a weekend off. Go on a trip. If you haven't gotten away from the kids in a while, take some mama time or daddy time. Go out and get a cup of coffee with some friends, or go out to dinner with your spouse. Those breathers, those rests, those times to recharge your battery make a big difference. Alright? So, those are my 10 reasons. Those are my 5 tips. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below. I will post links to the Texas Boys collab and to Eagle Academy's Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, go ahead and like us. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel because we are starting back to school on Monday. So I will have a lot more videos coming up as we are doing lessons and taking trips and all of that kind of stuff. Come back and look at us, alright? I'll see you guys around.